Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is going to be episode 26 of my gameplay series in Sandy Bay 19. If this is what you're looking for, please stay tuned. Alright folks, welcome back to Sandy Bay 19. So, let's go through a couple things here. So over here, I finished mowing up that just now and I brought the mower back. It's parked right out here. So we do need to go out and hit some of the weeds around the field. So that's one thing I'm going to get done today. And after I get the weeds done, we had a contract on field 24. So it auto completed once I loaded in, which is frustrating to say the least. So I think we're going to accept this too. We'll just go ahead and borrow items on that. Yeah. So I think what we're going to do, since we still have access to it, since we haven't completed it, we're just going to go out and fertilize most of it, just so we can still kind of do the contract. If we fertilize most of it and use fertilizer in our time and stuff like that, I feel okay taking the money, because that's a big contract. I really don't want to lose that. Yeah, and that will kind of help us pay for a windrower. So we're going to go out and hit some weeds, and other than that, I think the cows are doing okay. Let's go over to the cows here real quick. Yep, they're doing fine. Everything's okay over there with them. So we're just going to hit weeds. And then today, if we remember from last episode, there's this weird thing here where this wasn't ready to harvest, which is actually accurate. That is not ready to harvest in that area. So I'm not even going to mess with this field probably for the time being. Hopefully we can bale this with hay tomorrow if it's dry, because it's going to start raining. If not, we'll just have to take it in a silage. Oop, I'm rolling away. Okay. And then I'm hoping I can cut these two fields today and go ahead and take those in as silage. So that's the goal. I'm not going to worry about using any of our silage that we gather up into the silage, the bunker silos for the cows, just because we have plenty of silage bales and stuff like that. So that's kind of where we're sitting. Everything else seems to be doing fine. Yeah, there's not a whole lot else to report. Just some weeds down in the mouth that we'll take care of, and that contract. We'll take other contracts as we go. And that contract I accepted, I believe that was field 23. 23, yeah. Okay, so that's this guy up here. So we'll pick up the equipment. We'll probably take it up. Yeah, it's probably faster to go up this way. I know that's quite a hill, so we'll kind of see how it goes. But we'll take it up there, and we're just going to, that'll be probably most of our time will be spent kind of working on that today. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We'll start getting that going. I don't have anything else to report. As far as windrowers, I would like to get, if we go into windrowers here, the one I'd like to get would be at least this 30,000 guy right here. But I mean, this will work, but I'd like to get up to that if we can. I think we can after the contract and stuff, after we get especially both contracts done. And also from that contract, we'll get some extra silage bales too that we can use, which will be awesome. So we'll have some more silage bales as well. But yeah, that's everything we got going on. We may end up leasing the pelletizer this harvest whenever that occurs, so that might be something that we look into. I will say doing weeds this way instead of doing the whole field is kind of nice because it saves us money. However, it's kind of annoying at the same time that we have to worry about it every day. But overall, I think it's a plus, so I'll probably keep working on this, and this might be how I do it in the future. So I did change some settings on my mic. It shouldn't affect it a whole lot. I just added another I added a noise gate on there. I'm trying to cut down on my keyboard noises as much as possible. And in addition to that, I'm gonna try not to click them as hard. You can ask my coworkers. I am a very hard typer to the point that it drives them crazy when I'm trying to type my reports at work. So yeah, I try not to type very loud when I do the game, but it's just kind of a bad habit. But so hopefully you guys can hear everything. I'm sure you guys will be able to. My audio is picking up everything. Normally it's kind of like when I first started recording videos and stuff, the only time you couldn't hear me was when I started like mumbling to myself or whispering, which I do have a tendency to do. Those alive? No, those are dead. The weeds are kind of hard to find. I rely very heavily on the map. As you can see. Oh man. Normally what I've been doing is setting cruise control, then kind of hitting them and then going, okay, we need to turn around and go hit that area over there. This is the way to do weeds and seasons right here, people. Actually, I will say that some of the fields are easier to see than others. Make sure I hit that. Because even if I waste a little bit, it's like those areas I sprayed, they're not going to get weeds now, so. I can see those ones coming. They're a big enough group, I can normally see them, but so we'll loop over, hit that guy. Oh, I see him. Perfect. Make sure I hit them all. Perfect. We'll hit that guy, and then we'll fold up, hit those two. This one's got a lot on it. Yeah, and I mean, look, it really doesn't take hardly any time at all. Oop, oh, there they are. And I want it to get in a state of partial foldedness. We can get through those power lines. I know some people are like, you know, I don't like the power lines being in the middle of the field, whatever. Yeah, they are kind of frustrating, but is it realistic? Absolutely. My grandparents have a 150-acre ranch, so they don't do like crops, but they used to do horses and stuff, and they didn't have any power lines, obviously, on the land when they bought it. But the power company, I can't remember what it's called when this happens, but they essentially said because of the fact that it's a public utility and stuff, they had to build power lines on there. Even though my grandparents said no and tried to fight it, they lost. So the power company essentially was able to build lines because the government said yes, you can, and they couldn't do anything about it. So sometimes that happens with certain stuff, where the government's like, well, we need those power lines built, because they built them literally like that, diagonally across their land. They don't get any benefit from the power lines. Now, the power company did have to buy the land below where the power lines were going, like a small area around it, so that way they could obviously use it and do whatever with it. And they had to pay like an above fair market price. So they did. It's not like they didn't get any money for it. They did get a decent amount from the power company, but still they would rather have the land. But yeah, so that is something that does happen, where you kind of get hosed and you kind of have to just deal with it. So, which sucks. But they are still allowed to use the land below the power lines for grazing, so they could still kind of use it for horses. But yeah, it was just kind of frustrating. Lots of weeds on this field. Yes, yeah, they're easier to see on this field, I feel like, than the other one. They're still not, I mean, it's not like they're like highlighted on the field where they're easy to see. That'd be a good mod, actually. A weed highlight. Of course, it wouldn't be very realistic, and the whole purpose of seasons is to be realistic, but hey, it would be nice. Yeah, weeds are a whole different ball game in seasons, where they just kind of pop up randomly throughout the different growth stages and everything like that. So obviously, if they come up early on, you can take a weeder out and hit them, but if they're later on, then you're going to damage your crops if you go out here with a weeder and try to hit them. So we're going after this. I think that's all of them. Bernie in field 3. Yes, there's that guy up there in field 3, and then we'll hit these 4 over here. But I'll go ahead and take care of those. So I'm going to take care of weeding, and then after the weeding's done, I'm going to grab this guy, or head back up here and load him up with fertilizer. Actually, I might just... No, I'll bring him back up to the farm and load him up. No, yeah, because I'll be up here anyway. So yeah, I'll bring him up to the farm. Load him up with fertilizer, get him back down to 24, get him hiring. I'll start grabbing some of the equipment for this contract and taking it up there and working on getting that done. Well, actually, I want to get my grass done first. My grass kind of matters more than their grass, so I'm going to get my grass done first. So a lot to do today, but it'll all get done, so I'm not too worried about it. But I will keep working. I'll give you guys kind of updates throughout the day and throughout this episode as we're going. We should get through, what is it, early summer already? This is crazy. Yeah, I should get through a day or two of summer, I think. We'll see. Depends on how much we get done today, but I want to get that silage in there so it starts fermenting so we get ready to sell that. So, all right, guys, I will see you guys in a bit. All right, just a quick update. So as you can see here, this is our silage baling contract deal up here. I hired a worker to do a lot of it, and they're doing pretty good. I mowed around the edges and hired a worker to do the center, and then I windrowed around the edges, as you can see down there, kind of what it looked like. And then I hired a worker to do the rest, and they're doing a decent job. So it should be pretty quick here to finish this up. Everything else, obviously, after the windrowing is done, is going to have to be done by hand, but not a big deal. This worker's almost done with this field here. If we enter... Yeah, he's just going to back up and do that. But after he gets some of this done, then I'm not going to worry about the edges, because normally with contracts, you don't have to finish most of it anyways. Or not most of it, I guess, but some of it anyways. So then we'll accept that. If we had accepted that, then it wouldn't let us work on this field. And I wanted to make sure we kind of are able to simulate the fact that we're paying a worker to do that, as well as using our resources, such as our, gosh, I can't think of it now, our fertilizer. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Let's take a look at that contract again. What are we delivering that to? Oh, C&B Barns. We're taking her back over to here, which is awesome. So all the extra we can just kind of keep at the farm there. So we'll pick up, we got The wrapper, we have a weight, and we have a baler down there if I can select it. Maybe not. Nope, I already brought the mowers back down, but yeah, so not too bad. He working on that now? Yeah, he's getting that. Once he gets that row down, we'll probably call it good there. If I go enter the John Deere, we take a look at that field. So I decided I'll do silage on the bottom half, and I'm going to try to bale the top half into hay, and that should give us plenty of hay. If we have essentially this section of hay and this section of hay, that should give us probably more bales than we'll ever need, but that's okay. That means we'll be good for a while. And then, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to mow this, and again, like I mentioned, I'm not going to worry about this section. I kind of thought about maybe just mowing like from here up, but there's still a couple chunks in there, so I'm probably just going to leave it. I'll kind of play it by ear though. I might end up mowing just like from the pen up around, but yep, no other new contracts that we're going to take. These two though are going to be great. That's going to be what, $40,000 minus whatever we're paying out for people, so we'll be able to buy our $30,000 windrower and hopefully have a little extra money in the bank. So that's kind of the plan. That's where we're sitting. I'll take care of the cows here in a bit. They're still doing fine on everything. They'll need more straw and be cleaned up here in a bit, but yeah. And again, I'm doing that one time, so like the speed's one time, so it's not like, you know, we're pressed for time. But yeah, so everything's going well. After I get everything done, kind of, I'll probably just speed up the time and just kind of chill out. But that's kind of where we're at. Helper G is finished. Is that yep, that's you down there because you're not done up there. Yep. Well, let's go hop in you. And I did have to, this was almost out, had 200 liters left, then I filled it up. So and then there's the truck over here. Yeah, the pickup's over here with fertilizer in it. So I'm probably actually just going to unload the fertilizer next to the truck, let the truck pick it up so the truck can put it back in storage. But oh, and Helper I is done now too. There, just leave that there, and then we'll drive him back up in a sec. Let's go see how Helper I did. I feel like he missed some of it. Yeah, a little bit, but not a big deal. I can knock that out, no problem. Easy peasy. So today I don't really have a police story, but something to mention. I don't know if you remember, if you're watching, this is in left, so it should go to the left. But I mentioned a guy where one of my sergeants at my department that I worked for was chasing a guy that had gotten like a vehicle pursuit, and they ended up chasing him. And the guy turned around and pointed a gun at my sergeant and pulled the trigger, but the trigger didn't go off. Like the gun wasn't, there wasn't one round chamber, but the gun was loaded. They found out later when they arrested him. So my sergeant went to draw his gun, but then the guy put his gun away and took off running. So my sergeant was able to catch him and was able to get him into custody, which was good. And there was no incident. No one was hurt. But because of that, it's, you know, obviously it's a very serious thing to do, because that's pretty much, he tried to shoot a police officer. That's a very serious offense. And obviously that's a significant fear, but, can I do this? Why can't I think of, couldn't think of X to fold. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. All right, I'll drive this guy back down as I'm talking, but, yeah, so they were going to obviously charge him with like serious felonies and stuff like that, like for eluding and for resisting arrest and all this, as well as like a felonious assault on a police officer, even though he actually didn't pull the trigger, or he actually didn't assault the police officer, since there wasn't like a shot that was fired. But in Washington state, if you do something like that, that's still considered an assault, which I think it should be. If you point a gun at someone, it's an assault if you weren't justified to do so. So they were going to charge him with all that stuff here, but then a federal prosecutor heard about the case, and they've had incidences with this guy before, and they contacted our prosecutors, and instead of trying the case locally, they're going to try it federally. So it's going to be a federal case actually against that guy, which is really awesome, because that means he's going to get put away for a much longer time than it would if he gotten tried locally. Because the feds, essentially, we know as local cops here, especially in Washington, the feds really don't mess around with that kind of stuff or anything that they take. And if you don't know about like federal cases, the feds get, let's say, out of all the cases, oh, I'm driving on the wrong side of the road for this map. Out of all the cases they get, the feds only try or take on about 4 or 5% of the cases, maybe. Like out of all the cases they could try federal, that's the only ones they take. So it is a pretty big deal to get that case taken, and it's a good thing too. But I'm not really an advocate for people should go to jail for long periods of time, or should go to jail really a whole lot anyways. Maybe a few days to learn a lesson or whatever, I don't know. But like, it costs a lot of money in taxes, and it really doesn't help. But a lot of times it can make people better offenders, actually, if they're in jail for a long period of time. Not all the time. And I do think that rehabilitation is absolutely possible. Oop. But there are like a couple people that I could like think of like their names like right off the top of my head that I would, every time I get a chance, they need to go to jail because of the crimes that they commit and stuff like that, and they essentially need to just stay in jail. And I normally don't think that about a lot of people, and you might think, well, that's kind of harsh, you know, and if they could be rehabilitated, that'd be great. But it just, every time they get out of jail, they do like they commit violent crimes against people, and then I'm just like, well, you know, it's just ridiculous. Or they're repeat domestic violence offenders where they just cannot, they do not stop doing what they do. They just keep violating court orders to stay away from their exes, and they just keep violating, you know, well, in addition to violating the orders, they also go and they're assaultive towards or abusive towards, and it's just, that's not the stuff that I like to tolerate. I don't think that's something that needs to be happening. And if you can't learn and not do that anymore, then you need to just stay in jail where you're not going to hurt anybody else. Or they'll get into different relationships now, and then they'll have the same issues in that relationship. So it's a very difficult thing, those kind of situations. But there's a couple of people in particular I think of that they just need to get locked up. We had one person, he got out after being in prison for 5 years, got out, and within 2 hours of being out, committed 3 felonies in our city and got arrested again. And one of those felonies was a violent felony. It just immediately, like 2 hours out of prison, not jail, prison. So like he had been sent to the state penitentiary, and then he's immediately doing that, and now he's right back in prison because he came out and he was violent towards other people. And I'm not saying that they don't need like help or anything like that. They do need help, and I know the resources aren't necessarily available, but those are the types of people that I'm like, okay, they need to be away from society because they're obviously causing issues. If, you know, the system's not going to do them justice, which, you know, I understand that, but if it's kind of like, it's just a crappy situation, you know. It's like, I care about everyone. I don't hold any grudges against anyone, but there are some people that, you know, I worry about the safety of my community, and my family lives in this community too. I have friends that live in this community. And I care about, you know, it's like, I don't want them to run into those people or have those issues. So I do, like, that is a legitimate fear that I have, where I'm like, I'm worried about that. Like, there's some dangers to community. It's like, sure, you arrest someone on a drug charge, it's like, okay, whatever, you know, it's a drug charge. And where I'm at here, if you get even a felony drug charge, you really don't get in trouble for it, which it's like, I don't agree with doing drugs, like serious drugs like methamphetamine and heroin and stuff like that. I don't agree with that, but a lot of those people are just addicted, and they're just in like a tight situation where it's tough, you know. Once you get addicted to a drug like that, it's hard to get off it. I'm not advocating you should do this, or that I think that it's okay, or I don't arrest people that do that. No, I do. It's my job. I have to. It's like, even if I don't want to necessarily do parts of my job, I still have to do it. Even if I think it's a bogus law or whatever, I still have to do what I have to do. That's what I'm paid for. It's just, I don't hold it personally, or I don't hold anything against anyone that I deal with. It's just, it is what it is. But sorry, that's a bit of a soapbox for me, but it's a tricky job. There's parts of my job that I don't like, and I think that's okay. You're not going to like every part of your job, you know, but you still have to do it. You know, at the end of the day, it's still just, it's a job. I have to do it to be able to provide for my family. These are some thick grass piles here. So, you know, it's just one of those things where, and I think a lot of people I arrest understand that. I've had a lot of people that I arrest that I just treat them like human beings, like they should be treated. Like they're all humans, you know, we're all humans. We all make mistakes. Some mistakes, you know, can get you in trouble with the law, and some can't. But, you know, it's like, well, I've arrested like some hardcore, you know, people that are out, you know, that just, you know, just think of your hardcore criminal that you would think of, and I've arrested some of those people, and then after I'm done with them, like, they usually thank me. They're like, hey, thank you for being, you know, cool with me. You know, like, and I've had so many people that I've arrested say, you're the nicest cop I have ever dealt with. Like, thank you for just treating me like a human being. Like, I've had people say that to me, and it's like, okay, that means I'm doing this job right. That's how it should be. It's like, yes, I have to do my job. Yes, I have to do what I have to do. But at the end of the day, everyone's human that I deal with. Every single person, whether they're a victim, a member of the public, or they're an offender. So I just treat people with dignity and respect, and it gets me a long way. It just, you know, it helps you out a lot, because then all of a sudden they're super cooperative. I've had people that have fought with officers and stuff like that, and then come in, and then I'm the one that transports them to jail, and they're super cool with me because I was just super nice to them. And I'm not necessarily saying the officers that arrested them did anything wrong, but, you know, sometimes that matters. And I've had it the same way, where I've arrested people that have fought with me, and they just, like, I felt like I was trying to, you know, do everything. to be nice to them and dignified with them. But and then later, after they calmed down, they were totally cool with me and they've apologized to me. You know, it's like, okay, cool. I'm not going to treat them any different because they fought with me, you know, earlier when I was taking them into custody versus when they are now in custody. So yeah, just something to think about. I don't know. Sorry, I got a little carried away on my talk there, but those are things I think about, because if you treat people like people, at least as far as I'm concerned and what I've noticed, 99% of the time they're going to be respectful to you and they're going to listen to what you have to say and they're going to be good to you too. So, and that's every people from every walk of life understand that there is something about being respectful to others and being kind to others no matter what they've done, you know. But anyhow, I digress. I said that like probably 4 times. I digress, or I'm going to be done talking. But sorry. Hopefully you guys are okay with all my rants. I guess that was less of a rant, more of a, I don't know. Maybe that was a bit of a rant, wasn't it? But anyhow, back to the farming. All right. So we're baling grass bales. No big deal. We're getting a lot of bales off this, which is great. Because I'm hoping we can keep a few of them, which is why I like to do baling contracts as well. I normally don't do a lot of baling contracts, but I'm kind of good with them right now. We finished that, so we'll go ahead and accept that. We can get the cash for that. So yeah, we're sitting pretty good with cash. We got this one coming in. Yeah, that's awesome. So all right, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep working on this right here, getting this guy bailed up. I have no idea what the thumbnail will be. It might be this contract. I think it will be. I'll probably just take a photo of it here in a second when I let you guys go. Oh, it's hard sometimes in seasons to get like good contracts. In No Man's Lands, I feel like sometimes I have multiple things to choose for a thumbnail, but sometimes in Sandy Bay there just isn't. Sandy Bay, I kind of regret not having like just a standard, you know, singular image that I use for all the episodes. But yeah, so we got this silage bales we got to get down here. I'll finish, or I think this is mowed. Or no, sorry, this is mowed. Obviously, yeah, it's purple. So I'll get this mowed. And then I'm hoping if we look at the weather, hopefully it didn't change suddenly. So yeah, today drying potential is great. Tomorrow, it's great in the morning until we get to, yeah, right there is where it's gonna start being bad. So we need to get it baled by 9. So we're probably gonna get up. We're gonna try to get up around 6 a.m. tomorrow, and then we are going to just try to get all of the hay baled or windrowed and baled up real quick. So that's kind of our goal. In worst case scenario, it's still grass, and we'll just windrow it and pick it up and use it as silage, because we're gonna lose all of it otherwise, and the rain is gonna hit and it's not gonna dry out and it's just all gonna rot. So, all right, I'll keep working and I will bring you guys back in a little bit. All right, I've kind of completed the baling contract. So if you look in here, it's basically done. I delivered 2 full loads, so 32 bales of silage to the sell point here. I'm gonna unload these here, and I'm probably gonna grab the John Deere. But one thing I want to try, I'm not sure if this will work or not. If I wanted to restack all these in here, which I desperately do, without having to do it by hand, can I grab them with this guy? Or is it gonna say for contracts only? I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. Let's do this. I'll put that guy down. Let's get you right, maybe right here. Probably work. And then let's go into settings. I can start off, so that way you'll stay running. We'll go to the John Deere. Oh, that's right. I gotta start the engine now. I'm gonna see if I can't push some into that bale stack, since that one stacks them upright. Oh, there we go. I was like, why isn't it disconnecting that? There we go. And see if that works. Let's actually go check on the cows real quick. I think all the stuff for moving stuff around is over by the cows. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. Why did I bring this out here? Oh, it needs more straw. That's right. Okay. Let's deconnect. Right there. Perfect. And then the bale spike should be up over there, but we'll see. And we'll load one of those silage bales into the sell point. I think it's either going to take 1 or 2, and then the rest will be ours. So that's what we're going to do real quick. Let's go ahead and... I have no idea if you guys can hear the typing or not, but I feel like my typing is pretty bad right now. I actually looked into it while I had the workers going for a second, and I think what I'm going to do is... Oh, come on. Got you backwards now, don't I? I looked into a silent keyboard, so I'm going to try to buy that. I was like, I don't know why I didn't think of that before, because the typing kind of bothers me too, but yeah, so I'll see if that fixes it. Oh, there we go. Flips it around. Great. First, let's go take care of our silage bales over here. We'll try one. And we'll see if that does the trick. If that finishes it out, then that'll be good. If not, we'll just... Oh, I don't even know how I lost that since there was a spike in it, but that's okay. Ooh. Okay, maybe I need to get a little closer here. $96 transported. Well, that's not good. It went from 94 to 96, so maybe it needs 2 more. We're still going to do them one at a time until we get it done. Ah, darn it. I was hoping to get... I guess that'd be 50... that'd be 50 bales at 2% a piece. That seems a little bit much. But let's go ahead and throw another one of these in there. Nope. There we go. Oh, wait, that's not it. Awkward. 99. Seriously? Okay, we'll give them another bale. I mean, they're their bales, technically speaking. So I guess we can just be happy with the 8 bales we're going to get as extra instead of complaining about it. Oh, man. It's not like we really need the silage bales that much anyways. We have quite a few of them, so. All right. Sorry for a little bit of the screen whiplash there. Woo! All right, let's go complete that. Fantastic. We're sitting great on cash. Let's go ahead and buy that windrower real quick. Yeah, we'll go ahead and buy that bad boy. Perfect. All right. We have basically all the equipment we will ever need. I mean, maybe not, but still. All right. Oh, darn it. Oh, I completed the contract and totally forgot that that's what that's going to do, is get rid of that stuff. All right. Well, I do want to stack those better. I might just do it by hand now, but how much is our... Should have just bought the one I wanted in the first place, but I was trying to be cheap. That's got how many hours on 1.6, so it's not worth as much. 44,532 as opposed to buying this guy at 70,000. Good lord. Yeah, 70,000. So yeah, we're just gonna be happy with what we got. There's no sense in going crazy here now. So all right, I'll stack those guys in. The good thing is those things won't rot being outside since they're silage bales, so that at least is the good news. But we don't really have room in here for everything else if you take a look. I mean, we have so much room up but not down, so that's kind of my main concern. But yeah, well, let's grab a straw bale and get the cows taken care of first, because that's kind of our main priority. If I can't do this from in cab. Okay, move you out of the way. I want to grab one of these straw bales here. I can't do it. Let me zoom in. Should download one of those barns you can build where it just takes them in, but that's just going to cost us more cash. So, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. We'll be fine. I mean, I guess we have plenty of other barn space, so it's not like we're gonna run out of barn space or anything crazy like that. All right. There was a really cool mod that came out just recently that had, it was a straw shredder, but it held, what was it, 8 bales? That thing is awesome. I really want that one. I'm not sure how much it cost in game, but I can't remember. I was watching the mod review on it, but oh no. Well, that happens sometimes too. Well, the good news is we can do this. Oh, not that. This, and we'll just use this bale spike real quick. Oh boy. Farmer cop's luck right there, guys. Okay, let's lift you up. And get you in there terribly, so that way you'll fall out again. Perfect. Oh, that actually, wow, we knocked it in there. Wow, Farmer Cop was unlucky, and then all of a sudden, very lucky. Oh boy. All right. This is the side we want to be on. Try to make this not as crazy. Perfect. Okay. We just said to drive calmly, which is easier said than done for a Farmer Cop, so. Okay. All right, Farmer Cop, let's get this bad boy in here. Ooh. There we go. Whew. All right. Let's go look at the, not here, it's not in here, I always go in there. Cows. Straw's going up. Manure is going up. Our animals are all doing fine. They appear to be. There's not going to be any change. I think we looked at them last episode, but I don't think it'll take this whole straw bale. Could be wrong though. Yeah, it's not going to take it. Perfect. All right, we'll set that down there, and then we will just back into here and unload the TMR. We're probably going to need to get another thing at TMR in there, would be my guess, but come on, cow. Let's run you over. All right, I'm sure it'll take all that though, won't it? No, it's probably not going to take all that actually. We'll see though. Of course not. Very close. Okay, well, we'll leave this in here and we'll clean them. Oh, geez, I keep doing the wrong menu. We'll clean them up after we get this unloaded. So that shouldn't take us too long, but for now, I think this is going to wrap up the episode. I don't have a whole lot else to tell you about. Yeah, this has been Farmer Cop. If you enjoyed the episode, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button up on your screen so you can join the channel. Comment below if there's anything you want to see different or change or anything like that. But yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for watching.